In the last video, we talked about why it's so important to be able to make positive choices even when you don't feel like it. And in this video, I'm going to start exploring some of the applications of that. If you haven't watched the first video already, I suggest you watch it first before this one. And I would also like to say, if you enjoy my work, please click like. It helps get the video to more people. And also, if you would like to hear when I release another video, please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so that YouTube will keep you informed. Thanks very much. I hear people say all the time that they can't lose weight. Maybe they have some health conditions, for example, certain metabolic diseases, that make it much more difficult for them to lose weight than the average person. And in the dating coaching space, I hear a lot of men say that because they're short or because they don't have good facial structure or whatever, they can't get a date. And I'm going to explore that in another video, which I hope to release at the same time as this one. In both cases, there are legitimate reasons why things might be much more difficult for one person than it is for others, or for people with better genetics or better circumstances in life. But the thing is this: difficult does not mean impossible. I've already made a video on how to spend less than 1 hour per week on exercise and still getting all that you need to be in very good shape. Just thinking of the practical steps, if you were to take all the time that you spent on social media in 1 week, there would be more than enough time to implement such a minimal exercise program. So for 99.99% of people, it really isn't strictly an issue of time to exercise. That time can be freed up if you really want to. What about diet? Again, let's just focus on the practical steps first before we talk about why it's difficult. If you were to be used to driving some 6-litre V8 engined pickup truck, you'd be used to filling it up with quite a lot of fuel. But say you traded it down to a much smaller car, which was much more economical on fuel, you wouldn't be trying to fill it with the same amount of fuel that you were used to. Even if for some reason you really enjoyed filling up your car with fuel, even if you liked everyone at the fuel station and you enjoyed dropping by to see them and chat, once you'd filled up that tank, anything else would be wasted and probably hazardous. Whatever the feelings and social engagements around putting fuel in your car, once you have filled the tank, you're going to have to use it before you put more in again. And again, most people understand this. At some point in our life, our metabolism might have been like that 6-litre V8 pickup truck that we could eat anything we wanted to and we wouldn't get fat. But as we get older and our metabolism slows down, we might be more like some Fiat 500. And some people start out that way. So it's not the time to exercise that we lack. And it's not like we don't understand it rationally. So why do so many people fail to be in a reasonably good shape, even if our lives would be happier and healthier if they were? If the components are simple in theory and we know what we should do, and that would lead to a more healthy, enjoyable life, where do we go wrong? Let me make this personal for a moment. I really, really love chocolate. Milka milk chocolate was like my crack cocaine. I could easily put away a whole 100-gram bar in a single sitting. But because chocolate wasn't just a food I enjoyed, it was a comfort food. Whenever my mood would be down, whenever I felt crappy, whenever I felt tired, instead of just accepting that I felt crappy or tired, I would try to fix it with this vice. And your vice may be smoking or sugary drinks or alcohol or cake or whatever. And it helped me very temporarily because it picked up my mood, only very briefly. So I didn't feel like I was suffering just for a few moments. But why can't I just wake up and just be tired? Does being really tired or stressed mean that I have to comfort myself with chocolate? What happens if I don't? Do I die?
I'm sorry, we're just having a bad day.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
Does the world end? There's no real law of the universe that says I have to eat chocolate because I'm tired, and it didn't change things for the better for long anyway. I prefer not to be tired, but whether I'm tired or not doesn't change what I must or must not do with food. There's no deeper meaning to not feeling great other than I don't feel great. It doesn't necessitate an action to distract myself, even if I feel like doing something. I don't have to listen to those feelings. So when I'm having a bad day, I can just say, I feel like I'm having a bad day. Totally true and complete. I don't need to add so I must eat, drink, smoke, or whatever to it. That part is not true. The truth is that life contains plenty of suffering. That was the first noble truth of existence, according to the Buddha. We will always have some kind of dissatisfaction or pain. It's not a bug, but a feature of life. So if we are going to have pain, doesn't it make sense to choose a pain that helps us? If you're someone who could do with losing some weight, but doing so would mean that you would feel hungry for much of your day, which pain do you choose? Being hungry for much of your time now, or your knees and back hurting and not being able to enjoy life later? I hate when people try to make fatness into an identity as if it's an unchangeable part of themselves. As I've said before, there are no fat people. They're simply human beings who happen to be carrying excess body fat beyond that their bodies were naturally evolved for. Their bodies are wearing fat. Today I'm wearing a black t-shirt. Does it mean that I identify as a black t-shirt person? No. And no one is born fat any more than they were born bearded. They're both biological processes that I manage by my choices. I can grow a big beard if I want to, or I can shave it off completely. Or I can make myself look like, it's me, Mario! Or I can trim it and style it as I do. I can be fat if I want to, and I can be lean if I want to as well. My identity as Chris doesn't change. I just love myself more when I choose my long-term health and enjoyment over my short-term pleasure. And again, in that, love is not just a feeling, it is the choice of choosing my long-term happiness over my short-term pleasure. To be in shape doesn't require a lot of time, but it does involve developing discipline. Some of us have to do a lot more work than others, and it really is more difficult for some people to be in shape than others. It's more difficult for me now at 40 than it was when I was 20, and at 60, it'll be even more difficult. But again, difficult is not impossible. If you're young and active, just eat as much as your body needs. And if you're old and have hypothyroidism, eat as much as your body needs. You might be hungry sometimes. You might not have anything to take the edge off feeling angry or tired. It's okay to feel hungry, angry, or tired. Just be hungry, angry, or tired. The feeling doesn't need an action, and most feelings come and go in waves. I don't eat as much as my hunger tells me to. I don't punch as many people in the face as my anger tells me to. I don't seek out sex as often as my horniness tells me to. Feelings are just messengers. You're the boss, and if you want to rule in your own life, then you have to rule in your own body first. Your behavior doesn't have to be based just on your feelings. You're welcome.